Hello, everyone. We are so excited to be here, Bollywood Moms on the Go. And today we are talking about gratitudes or counting your wins. And the reason I say two things is because Sonia calls them gratitudes and I call it counting your wins. But in the end, it's the same thing.
Yes, gratitude and counting your wins. What is it? It's when we reflect on finding good things that happen during the day. And it could be from small, tiny little things to bigger things.
In fact, it's the small things that you should really be looking at.
Yeah, if you do it daily, that's where you can see really that the things moving forward and you say, yeah, today, the good things happen. And there's always something good to find. Even in the most challenging days, there are always some to find.
Yeah, and sometimes it does feel like there is no wins in this day. This was a terrible day. But truthfully, I have practiced this, and so has Sonia. And I can tell you that on the worst of the worst days, I can always manage to find one thing. And it could be the smallest thing, like the hug of your child, or a little moment with your spouse, some eye contact with a good friend. These sorts of things are very small if you think of them sort of in those terms, but really they create a lot of impact in our soul. And when you're filling up your soul or filling up your bucket, then you are far better to serve yourself first and then others from that.
Yeah. It's really about recognizing that there's good things happening to you or that you did. And then sometimes when I share with moms, like, okay, gratitude could be like, hey, I managed to do my laundry today. It's a win. Because maybe, like for me, like house maintenance is kind of a challenge, an opportunity for me to grow. But sometimes when I manage to run one laundry and I do the drying and then put them in the basket, this is a win because maybe I just like try to delay this activity for one full week, and then when I did, it's like it's a win, and it is. It feels good.
I don't believe you that you got your laundry done all in one shot.
It happens.
I'm just teasing.
I didn't fold though. But the win is like I load one machine.
Basket folds, put away.
No, not fold.
No, not fold. Okay.
Much more like putting one load in the laundry and then make it dry and then just like put it in the basket. This is a win for me.
That's really good, actually.
And even if the basket is like there for one full week before I fold it, that's another week for later. But sometimes it's like finding like, okay, I managed to go for a walk and just observe the nature. This is a win because you are like just outside by yourself maybe, or walking the dogs or pushing the stroller. But it's just like, okay, that's something to be grateful for. When
sometimes you have to create them, right? You have to sort of take that moment on purpose and turn it into a win, because it was something that before you would have just walked past and not thought much of. But then if you actually take that time, and we talked last call, we talked about that 6-second rule. So if we actually take the time to come out of our subconscious insanity and into our conscious mind, we can look around us and see the beauty that's right in front of us every single day, and add that to your list of wins for the day.
So it's about the things that you may do or be in an environment, but also what people do for you. And it could be little tiny things like, oh, the children just like clean up their plate, whereas most of the day they don't. And it's like, oh, it's a win, and it's something to be appreciative of. Yeah. And it could be like your husband finally, I don't know, empty the sink. That if usually he's not doing that. But even if he's doing that every day, that's something to be grateful for. So it's finding little tiny things that, okay, I have great food to eat today, or something tasty, something unusual, and sometimes it can be the same thing over and over, but recognize that that's something that really nurture yourself, something that fills your soul, and you feel like, oh, it feels good when I mention it. And you can see that, okay, just keep doing that with that practice.
Yeah. And you know what, we're sort of speaking of it from a light perspective, but I want to be clear that we understand that sometimes you're really deep in the hole, and you really feel like sitting in the bottom of this pit of darkness, you know, that seeing a win is not a priority, or something that is something that you could even attain. It's not even feeling possible to you. I understand those moments, and I understand that where you have been. I have a good friend that told me a story about being stuck in the bottom of a well, and somebody comes by and they offer to throw you a rope, or they offer to call someone to come. But those things are not as helpful to you as having someone jump in the well with you. And you might think, why is that helpful to have someone come into this dark space with me? But the reason that becomes a positive thing is because if they join you there, they are there because they have been there before and they know the way out. And that's the perspective that we are coming to you from, is that we've been in those lower places ourselves personally as well. And so, yes, we want to come in and we want to show you the way out instead of just tossing you a rope. You know, we want to take those steps with you. So this is just one small thing that you can do to change. And this sounds very dramatic. Show me your drama, Sonia. This sounds very dramatic, but this little thing that you're doing every day can actually change the brain chemistry in your mind by taking on time, on purpose, saying, okay, that's a good thing, right? Yeah, sorry.
So it comes with practice. So gratitude comes with practice. And I know that I studied gratitude years back, like something kind of new, but making it daily. And that was the big moment for me, doing it daily. And after 1 and 2 months, I started to really see something changing in me and be like more open and be maybe more smiling too. And sometimes I remember, so it was part of a transformational retreat about being better, and then gratitude was part of it. And so I started to do my gratitude routines every night before going to bed, recognizing that, okay, whatever the day was, I always find something that was good, that were good for me, and I can sleep better because I know it's that good feeling, so that I sleep better. And doing it with practice over and over the last few years, I really see that you see more. It's like you put like new glasses and you can see like, oh yeah, this is a win, this is a win. And then when you practice, you can really see more and more things coming in. And it's just because you're just having a better vision. And sometimes you don't see it, but now with practice, you're going to see better.
Yeah, and it puts a bit of a damper on the sort of negativity or the overwhelm that we often feel, especially as mothers. You know, we are trying to raise these amazing human beings and put, you know, decent people out into the world, and that can be very overwhelming. And many of us have multiple other things that are along the journey with that. Maybe you work, maybe you have some family things that you're dealing with that are, you know, outside of your kids. There's all sorts of, everybody has other stuff that is going on. And so often I find with moms, especially when I'm talking to them, that overwhelm is the sort of key emotion that sort of comes up. And so this is a nice way to sort of dampen that and say, we're okay, we're good. You know, look at this great thing that happened today, or look at how much love I have from this child, or look at how amazing my husband is for doing these things for me that he does for me every day, or your partner. And really taking the time to sort of recognize that even with some of the things that are going nuts in your life, crazy, right? Even with some of those things, that we are also experiencing good things throughout our day. Our brain tends to feed towards those negative things, so we have to teach it better. We have to teach it differently.
So yeah, it comes with practice. And then sometimes when you're really new to this exercise and you feel like, I don't know how to see, it's like, okay, go back to the basic. And it's like, I'm grateful because I can walk with my legs. I'm grateful because I can breathe fresh air, and then go back to the basic. And as you practice, you're going to see more coming up. It's like, okay, I finally read 1 page of my book, and you're going to see more and more with practice. So trust that.
And it can be powerful to write it down. You know, I know not everybody likes to keep a journal, but if you have even just a piece of paper and you just write it down and throw the paper away after, there is power for pen on paper. There is sort of, for your changing of your mind, there is power in that. But I'm not telling you have to. I'm just saying that is also an option to sort of commit it down even further.
Yeah, so you have really so many ways to do this gratitude. So writing down, or looking at yourself in the mirror and saying like, yes, today, this happened. Be grateful. Or like just laying and meditating about the day. Like find the formula that will work for you and practice long term, like daily. And then you're going to see the shifts happening, the changes, all this transformation. And then again, you're going to see that you're going to put your goggles and have better vision of that, the true beauty of your word.
Yeah, and often I will share it with my whole family. And so I'll ask the kids, you know, what was good for you today? And I ask them on both sides. I say, what happened that was amazing today? And then where are your opportunities for improvement? So we look at where they did really good or they had a good moment. And then we also look at, hey, where did we trip? Where did we fall? Because that's also an opportunity, you know, and we're going to talk more about that sort of thing on another call, but it's really about sharing it with other people as well. Another mother, with your family, with your husband or your partner, with us. We would like to know.
It is like practicing and then practicing with your child. So then they're already in a habit to do that and understand that. And it's going to be like just as natural as brushing their teeth at some point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want to share one win. So yeah. So we would like you to comment and see how you are in your journey of gratitude. Is it something new? Is that something that you're doing? Or how is it going? And then if there is anything we can help with, so please comment there. Or comment in our Facebook group, The Mom Squad, where you can join, and we want you to join.
Yes, come, yes.
And so like this video.
Like, share, comment.
If you want to see a lot of moms seeing this video, because it's really like helping other moms with being the best version of themselves. Yay!
Yes. Woo, woo, woo.
Fully.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.